Hey guys, Bix Weir with roadtoruta.com coming to you from the greenhouse again. As you can tell, it's looking pretty good so far. I'm real happy with the way the early seeds are going, and some aren't exactly from seeds. I cheated on a few of them. But the difference between, I transplanted some bell pepper in here and outside. In here they look great. They are, oh, you can't see them. They're down here. They're down here. They look great. Outside, they look like crap. I have no doubt it's from all the chemtrails that have been sprayed lately. Unbelievable, nonstop, day and night. What it's for, take your pick. There's a article on the Road to Ruta website in the resources tab that talks about chemtrails, and it actually comes from a 1960s, I think it was a CIA report that it was needed to block the neutrinos. Pretty in-depth paper. Take a look at it. You can believe it or not. It has also some stuff about ascension and all that stuff that the New Age people love to talk about. Definitely the world is changing. We can all agree on that. Something's going on. Our weather's changing. The financial situation is pretty much... If you don't know that things are about to crash, then you need to wake up a little faster, because it is right at our doorstep. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that I've been working on for years. And it started in 2015. I don't have that magazine. I have it upstairs, but The World in 2016. This is the Economist magazine. It's not the regular magazine that they put out. I think it's weekly. This is once a year. They usually put it out in November. And it's kind of like a future... what's going to happen in 2015, 2016, 2017. 2015 was a big controversy over the cover. Had all the stuff about the false flag in France. So clearly they either knew that it was going to happen, or more likely they somehow saw into the future. Maybe remote viewing, maybe using psychics, maybe using whatever, or maybe they did it themselves, or the Rothschilds that own The Economist magazine had a hand in it. Anyway, it was on the cover, and then it happened during 2015. And then in 2016, you can clearly see the rainbow color flag, representative of the nightclub shooting in Florida. Another huge false flag for 2016. But if you also see in the top corner, right there, top right, that flying cell phone. If you look in the magazine, it's talking about fintech and Bitcoin and the blockchain. Huge stuff. And Bitcoin's going crazy. If you guys haven't gotten any yet, it's time. It's way past time. Not past time. It won't be past time for about 50 years. And then when you get it, then you'll understand. Or you can just get it now and just close your eyes and ride it out. But you won't ride it out. That's the funny thing. Most people who end up buying Bitcoin wish they had bought more earlier on. So in a year from now, you're going to look back at this video and you're going to wish you had bought more earlier on. Right now is earlier on, in a year or two or three. Don't want to talk about Bitcoin either, truthfully. What I want to talk about is I wrote a report on this one, on the world in 2017. It's a spread of what they call tarot cards. I did a reading of these tarot cards as per the Road to Ruta. And really interesting, if you check this out. Starts off with the Tower card, which is basically a destruction card. And then Trump sitting on the earth in the Judgment card. I give a full analysis of what's going on there. If you don't know what's going on with Trump by now, I know it's hard to read Trump because he's going to change his mind every other day. But it is still ongoing. The process of taking out these bad guys is ongoing. And it will continue to go on until they're all gone. Most of them have been neutered, but not all of them. So there's still pockets of resistance in the battles behind the scenes. But it'll be taken care of quickly. But more on this. So I went through every single card and what it means in the tarot, because there's a certain way you need to read them. The World card is my favorite because it's got things about the monetary system crashing, the gold in the Grand Canyon, and it's got things about the Fed. And then this is the scary card. the Hermit, and then right over to the bottom, which you can't see because of this. It's the Death card. In my report, you can see that pretty easy. But the Death card is not an end. The Death card is a transition. And that's what we're going through. This is a transition. You should know it by now if you've listened to my videos or watched The Road to Ruta. Anyway, so what I want to talk about briefly is a different part of, this is the report I wrote. It's like 54 pages, $15. You go to roadtoruta.com and you click on the world in 2017, the Road to Ruta analysis. And the way I look at this report and the magazine and what they're trying to say on this is I talk about it as per the plan behind the scenes, the Road to Ruta plan to destroy the monetary system and return us to a gold standard, or even probably including some form of Bitcoin or blockchain technology. Really interesting stuff that came out of the Fed Boston, not the Bitcoin stuff, but the Fed Boston back, it started in 1980. In 1981, they came out with a comic book explaining this whole thing. They remade it in 2007, right before the crash, except they took out the part about running the monetary system at full blast forever, and they stuck in 9/11. They wrote 9/11 in the sand in the 2007 comic book. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. This is not some conspiracy / crazy comic book writer. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston writing this in the sand. Crazy stuff. But on the conspiracy front, what I wanted to talk about in this report is not the cards, is not the tarot spread, but rather the calendars. And those of you who have bought report know exactly what I'm talking about. Because this, in this 2016 version, if you open it up to page 37, this is what you see. A crazy, absolutely crazy picture in the calendar section. This is the calendar section. Hold on, let me take that off. There it is. 2016 calendar. And you go through that, and there's all these hidden meanings in there, too. Look at the arrow right in the British flag. I think it was symbolic of that politician who got murdered right before the Brexit vote. And all kinds of arrows going on, fire, chaos. It is not a happy calendar. It's a very scary calendar. And as 2016 was a very scary year. But here's a real cool thing and a real interesting thing. In 2017, my read of the tarot cards is very positive ultimately. Yes, we got to crash the system. Yes, we have to go through massive chaos. Yes, there will be earth changes. Just look at the death card. There's earth changes all over the place. And in the Hermit card, look at the earth cracking right there. But do we get through it? The very last card is the most positive card in the tarot deck, the Star card. And that last card is, because you read the tarot in order, that's what our future holds for us. But we got to get from here, the destruction card, to there, the Star card, which is very positive. And then, when I compared the calendars in the report, you get me amazed. Now, remember that last calendar. Explosions, death, arrows. Look at this. Everybody cheersing each other. They're all happy. There's Trump on the yacht, the presidential seal yacht. Look at that. Even the Germans are drinking with everybody. And everybody's happy. There's not one bad thing going on in that whole calendar. This is from the world in 2017. Everybody's saying that this cover it's spelling out the doom and destruction for 2017. It's not reading these cards right. It ends up really good. You just got to go from here, the Tower of Destruction card, all the way through these cards to end up here, the Star card, the Happy-Go-Lucky card. And we're going to end up where the calendar ends up. Very, very good potential for our future. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is guaranteed. So this report that I wrote says just that. Nothing is guaranteed, but it goes through each one of the cards and explains what my take is and the Road to Ruta take is from the documents that I got from the Fed Boston. So these aren't conspiracy documents. Well, they are, but it's conspiracy right from the horse's mouth, from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, who wrote the Road to Ruta documents. They wrote the Banking Basics book. If you've seen that book, it's It shows people standing in line with coins to cash in for gold and vice versa. Gold, the Federal Reserve writing about gold, subliminal messaging. It's amazing stuff. Once you understand what's going on behind the scenes, that the United States was going to run this system as long and hard as possible, soaking up all the benefits of unbacked fiat money, going into massive debt, exactly what Trump is doing. I heard the latest projections are $5 trillion in debt, new debt added in the new budget. $5 trillion. Obama put on an extra $10 trillion, but that was over 8 years. And $5 trillion in debt is exactly what the Roto-Rooter theory says. Print as much money as possible, electronic money, until nobody accepts it anymore, crash the system, and go back to a gold standard. I think Bitcoin will be involved again, because these comic books were written way before Bitcoin was even around. But I do think that Alan Greenspan, who is the world's renowned computer programmer, the best computer programmer in the world, he's been doing it since the mid-'60s. It's the only reason he became head of the Fed is he's a market rigger. Just like Steve Mnuchin, except Steve Mnuchin is a market rigger working for the bad guys. He needs to get gone. He needs to go out of there. He's a real bad guy working for bad people. I think he will be gone very soon. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. You can buy this report. It's 54 pages at roadtoroota.com. It's right at the top. You can download the PDF. It'll be sent to you right away. It's only $15, and it goes through every card there, and it goes through both calendars, and it goes backwards in time to the 2016 The World End, The Economist conspiracy magazine. Anyway, get your copy today, and don't forget to like these videos and subscribe to this channel because there's a lot more coming. But the difference between, I transplanted some bell pepper in here and outside. In here they look great. They are, oh, you can't see them. They're down here. They're down here. They look great. Outside they look like crap. I have no doubt it's from all the chemtrails that have been sprayed lately. Unbelievable, nonstop, day and night. What it's for, take your pick. There's a article on the Road to Rooter website in the resources tab that talks about chemtrails, and it actually comes from a 1960s, I think it was a CIA report that it was needed to block the neutrinos. Pretty in-depth paper. Take a look at it. You can believe it or not. It has also some stuff about ascension and all that stuff that the New Age people love to talk about. Definitely the world is changing. We can all agree on that. The Economist magazine, it's not the regular magazine that they put out. I think it's weekly. This is once a year. They usually put it out in November. And it's kind of like a future, what's going to happen in 2015, 2016, 2017. 2015 was a big controversy over the cover. Had all the stuff about the false flag in France. So clearly they either knew that it was going to happen. Hey guys, Bix Weir with roadtoroota.com coming to you from the greenhouse again. As you can tell, it's looking pretty good so far. I'm real happy with the way the early seeds are going, and some aren't exactly from seeds. I cheated on a few of them. Something's going on. Our weather's changing. The financial situation is pretty much... If you don't know that things are about to crash, then you need to wake up a little faster because it is right at our doorstep. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that I've been working on for years. And it started in 2015. I don't have that magazine. I have it upstairs, but The World in 2016. This is